provoke these problems is that of migration. I want to show a few numbers about the Hispanic population in the United States. I have more than a few numbers, but I'll try to highlight the most important ones. If we look at the Hispanic population and the Mexican origin population in the United States, we see growth. There are presently 36.5 million Hispanic residents in the United States. That's more than 1/10 of 300 million residents in the U.S., and growing in terms of the percentage. Of these, approximately 10 million are of non-Mexican origin, leaving a very large majority of 27 million of Mexican origin. The next is about how they fall into the question of voting. Where would these Mexicans and Mexican Americans vote? Leaving aside the about 5 million who are not of voting age, the 27 million Mexican origin residents in the U.S. break down into two groups: Mexicans eligible to vote in Mexico, and Mexican Americans eligible to vote in the U.S., which there are 11.6 million Mexicans eligible voters inside the United States, and 11 million Mexican American voters in the U.S. And so, for the first time in Mexican history, you may be aware, the Mexican eligible voters in Mexico, that is the immigrant population, was given the right and the technical capacity to vote in the last election of 2006, July 2nd, with the reform of 2005. As I will show, this was a very restrictive reform, and very few of these Mexicans in the United States were actually able to vote. And that's the topic of my study, and I know all sorts of detail about this.